Hello and welcome back to Irons United's YouTube channel. West Ham take on Huddersfield Town. We travel all the way to Huddersfield this weekend against the Terriers. They're hosting West Ham, coming off. They're not on a great run, to be honest, but you know, we've come off not a great result at the weekend in the FA Cup. So last time out we beat them 2-0 at the London Stadium. Goals from Obiang and Ayew gave West Ham the victory. So now, yeah, like I said, we travel to the, I'm trying to think of the name of the stadium, John Smith Stadium. An interesting 3 PM Saturday kickoff, which makes a little bit of a difference, but at least we're back on a Saturday. That's the main thing. I'm joined with Matt, Luke, and I'm Anton. So we'll go straight to yourself, Luke. What do you know on Huddersfield?
Bit of a dodgy team, to be honest with you. I think they always turn up. They always give something to themselves, but they either win or lose. I don't think their record's sort of very consistent. But then, you know, we're not consistent ourselves really. But yeah, they've got, look, I said in the transfer chat, they've got some decent players, including Moy in the midfield, who just absolutely bosses it. Someone they've got to look out for. You know, they've got goals in them, definitely. So it's a team that we've got to try and beat. Basically, it's one of the teams sort of like that are doing as much as I know people have said in the past. It's only Huddersfield, a promoted team, this, that, and the other. They're doing a lot better than we are this season, and they are a lot higher in the table than us. So we got to watch out for it and sort of, you know, try and get us 3 points. I don't really care if it's an ugly win. To be fair, I just want the 3 points. To be fair.
Yeah. Matt, before we came on, we were discussing the recent form. What do you know on Huddersfield's recent form?
Well, they're coming off a win against Bolton at the weekend, but I mean, from what I saw, they did change a lot of players.
Yeah,
I think like a lot of teams, I think there's like sort of bridge. If you're between like 7th and 11th in the league, you're like interested in the FA Cup, and if you're either side of it, you just don't care. I think Huddersfield like that as well. I think they put a team out. They haven't won in the league in about a month. They won back on like the 16th, and that was Watford when I think they both had a man sent off. They finished 10 aside.
Yeah. Since
then, they've had a couple of draws and a loss. So they're a bit out of form, but the win at Bolton could have given them obviously a bit of boost, whereas we drew at Shrewsbury. So
yeah, so it's, you know, like weighing up the options there.
Yeah, it sort of swings and roundabouts between us. I mean, I think, like Luke said, they can't seem to get a good run going. They did at the start of the season. They had like that bang at the start of the season.
Yeah. Which
is probably keeping them out of the relegation battle at the moment, just because they're touching at the start of the season.
Yeah. I mean, we know a lot about. I mean, their manager David Wagner. I can't help it.
X Factor reject.
He's well thought of, I think, in the Premier League. He's got a certain style, and he's with the money he's had, which has not been a lot, although they have spent some money. I think they spent some money on players like Tom Ince, and what was the other players you guys were talking about?
Moy, Mounier. I think Moy cost about like 11 million or something.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
I was surprised.
And they just bid again today for who's the guy at Norwich? Pritchard.
Yeah,
that's it.
They bid 11 million for him today, so they're not, you know, they're throwing money about.
Yeah,
they ain't missing about.
I think they had one of the busiest windows in the summer. I think they brought in like 11 players.
Yeah, you kind of expected that though, coming up from the Championship, and you thought, you know what, they need to make they do the right thing. They get depth in their squad, I suppose, which is the opposite to what we have done. We've done the complete opposite.
Bare thin.
Yeah, bare thin, and it gets even thinner. We're now sitting probably top of the injury table, worth a lot of injuries we're carrying.
It'll see how it comes at the weekend, because hopefully a lot of them are back. But at the moment, we've got like rumoured it's about like 9 injuries.
Yeah.
You know, Christmas hit us hard.
Yeah.
Because we only had about 2 or 3 going into Christmas, and we've like triple our injuries coming out the other side.
Yeah.
But we did get some good points, so.
Absolutely, and I mean we've come off a positive run with 5 points from 4 games over the Christmas period, which, considering our form well before that, is something we would have taken beforehand. But we've added another fixture to the January fixtures because we did go ahead and draw against Shrewsbury, and because we don't have the squad depth, David Moyes is going to have to find balance within the squad, because on top of that he's got Huddersfield on Saturday, then following, is it Tuesday, He's got
Tuesday
Shrewsbury, and then go straight into the weekend again for another game. It's something we could have done without, completely done without. But hey, that's just West Ham way. That is the West Ham way. So yeah, last time out we beat them 2-0. I do remember the game. It wasn't a great game, but we got the victory, and we needed it, and Slaven Bilic needed it, and West Ham just needed it full stop. This time out, we do have a lot of injuries, as we've said, and it looks like Winston Reid's going to miss the game. How much of a problem do you think that's going to be, Luke?
Yeah, I think he's a loss. I know people have been sort of slagging him off and criticising him for a little while now, saying he's worst form of his life, which is possibly quite true, to be fair. But like we've been saying for a long time, it's more or less just trying to half it is probably covering Ogbonna, but then Ogbonna's been pretty good over the last few games and so on. But yeah, he's. I don't think we're massively covered at the back. Injuries permitting, Bonner and Rice are kind of the only fully fit and ready to go players that have played Premier League before, know about the league, and can go straight into the game. But yeah, it's going to affect us. I'm personally a fan of Reid, so that's to me, it is a loss. To our fans, it might be a bit of a blessing in disguise. Certainly don't want anyone like Chiati having to fill in at the back like he has been known to at times maybe this season. But yeah, it'd be a loss, and hopefully he won't be out too long.
I just have this feeling that Moyes and West Ham in general just want to keep Kouyaté in the team for some reason, whether it's they want to keep him in the window for the transfer market. But it's a player that I can definitely see dropping in to the defence. I'm not saying it's going to happen for this weekend, but if he's not been performing, he's not been doing that well, as we know, and that clip went viral of him at Shrewsbury, and that's just a small highlight reel of what mistakes he's been making or what effort he's not been putting in, then is it something that that you can see, Matt, or when we're missing players at the back, because Collins is coming back from injury, do we risk putting Collins on the park again for him to get, can he play the full 90 minutes? Or do we put Kouyaté in there to cover?
I mean, if Moyes is on this thing of that he has to play Kouyaté, then I'd put him in defence. But for me, Creswell's been training, so Creswell's supposed to be back. So I'd probably go Rice, Ogbonna, Creswell. Like, I'm not disappointed that Reid's not playing, because I don't think he's probably, like Luke said, he's probably in the worst form he's been in. Like, he's been making a lot of mistakes. I don't know if that's because he's been covering people or he's just been carrying a knock or he's not been fit. But he probably could do with missing a game. I think he's out for like 2 weeks, so he'd probably do with a rest stop.
Yeah.
But Collins is a risky one. Obviously, he's only just come back. But then he did play all right against Bournemouth, so I don't know. I'd play Oxford. I'd rather play Oxford at the back than Kouyaté. I just don't want Kouyaté in the team.
That's an interesting point, though, because we've brought Oxford back. We've not seen him. He did pick up an injury.
Even Burke.
Burke. It looks like he's trained, though. It looks like he's trained. So look, is it realistic, though, we're going to see a player of Oxford's his talent back in the squad? I mean, I know he's been brought back, but is it not just typical West Ham that he's been brought back for the sake of being brought back and not going to get a game?
I don't really know what to really say with West Ham at the minute. It seems a bit sort of higgledy-piggledy, sort of makeshift. Look, I mean, back when Oxford was first getting his chance in the team, he was thrown straight in the deep end away at Arsenal, and he did perfectly fine there. That's without a first team appearance in any sort of senior football at all. If he does come back, then hopefully he has a good game. But it's just typical that we haven't. Collins is injured. I mean, a half-fit Collins is sometimes even just as good as a fully fit Collins. He seems to just come back and get straight into the game. Hardly ever has a bad game for West Ham.
Yeah.
But if Oxford does come in, it would be good to see him. Obviously, I don't want him to come back and obviously play poorly. But it just depends what West Ham are really looking at, whether they actually want him to actually come back so he's actually an integral part of the team, or if they want to bring him back for financial reasons, to sell him on if he has a couple of good games in January or whatever. I really don't know what to expect West Ham at the minute. It's kind of almost pointless trying to work him out. So if he does come back, and if he does get put into that team straight away, hopefully doesn't get injured first and foremost, but hopefully he has a good game.
I think I look at it and I think in the most ideal world, for me personally, I'm not Ogbonna's biggest fan, but I'll hold my hand up and say that he's been playing well recently. So when you've got players of Oxford's ability who's recently been playing. Declan Rice, who's been playing fantastic. I would also love to maybe see them three, him, Ogbonna, and Declan Rice, Ogbonna, and Oxford put in the back three together. Something I don't think we're going to see, but it's something that we're crying out for. I think maybe yous would agree in that. Maybe that they're the.
I just before I forget to say this, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, mate. But I'm kind of getting bored of this whole three at the back thing, because it was great when we really needed to, let's say, defend desperately because of the results we were getting, etc. Against the big teams like the Arsenals and the Chelseas, it worked fine. But after a while, it's like, do we really need to keep defending this much? Because not every team's going to be an Arsenal and a Chelsea. You are going to get your teams around us that need to be attacked more, because there is a reason why they're down the bottom with us, because they're not the greatest at defending. So they need to be pressed more than they do other teams. So I know it's a way, but I would kind of like to see us maybe go, four at the back, standard, and then have a 4-4-2 maybe or something along them lines, because it's kind of like, again, we're going to have to have Creswell as a makeshift left side centre back or something along them lines, and it would be nice to just mix it up a little bit and just say, actually, you know what, let's go for it a bit more. Let's have Chot up front, let's have Hernandez and Carroll up front or whatever. Which is a whole different ball game. We'll get onto that later on maybe, but I kind of would like to see it a bit more, just simple four at the back rather than three at the back with the wing backs.
Yeah, but earlier in the season we were calling out for 4-4-2, and then I suppose contradiction to that is the fact that we called out for it and it didn't seem to work. But then maybe that's down to the team selection and the players we selected in that 4-4-2.
Really.
Yeah, and it does come down to Bilic. But then, you've got to give credit where credit's due to David Moyes, but he is still making bad decision in terms of Kouate's still playing and he's not performing. There's players that there was opportunity that he could have played Arnautovic and Hernandez together, and that's not happened.
Yeah. It's obviously there's that thing that Moyes just doesn't fancy Hernandez bottom line, which isn't great, isn't helpful. But it's just one of them things. Really, I totally agree with what you're saying. I'm not saying disagree. But it's just something that I just think that I'd like to see change a little bit. It's just getting slightly predictable, and I think West Ham, when they get too predictable, are susceptible to making their own mistakes as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Shizzle Bass has come on our YouTube channel saying at least Oxford will give him mobility. Don't know about ability. But Shizzle Bass, I think he does have ability. I think he's shown enough, and albeit a few games, he showed it at the youth level, and he seemed to be performing on a decent standard in the limited amount of games he had in Germany. But he's not had enough time to prove himself, in my opinion. But yeah, it's something I would love to see is those three at the back. But we've got Collins coming back, so realistically, what are we going to see in the back line? Over to you, Matt.
I think if Collins is back, it will just be a straight swap from Reed and Collins.
Yeah.
Like, I know what Luke's saying about change formation, but the reason we went to three at the back was because we were shipping goals left, right, and centre.
Yeah.
And Moyes, while I mean, we haven't lost. We've lost the last game we lost. Well, we lost at Newcastle, and that was the first loss we've had since Man City. We've lost 1 in 7, or I think 2 in 8. So while it's working, I don't think he's going to go back 2 at the back. Right. I mean, let's not forget, we played 3 at the back against Stoke, and we tore them apart. And that was playing 3 at the back.
Yeah.
It depends on what we do going forward. And against Shrewsbury, we played 3 at the back. But then you had Kouate, who did he literally didn't make a single pass in the game. Every time he got the ball, he was just hoofing it forward. So 3 at the back won't work when you're not retaining possession of the ball.
Yeah, and then obviously 3 won't work at the back, or anything will work at the back as long as you're not feeding your forward line, which is something we'll come on to.
No. Yeah. I mean, if we're playing Hernandez as a target man, it's not going to work, is it?
Yeah. But I'm telling you, I tell you something now, and do you know what? Let's just go straight onto it. Let's go into it. It's a total touchy point with me, really touchy point with me, and I'm getting really pissed off when I'm reading a lot of stuff online and I'm trying my best to hold my temper. But I'm thinking to myself, you have when was the last time we had a fantastic partnership up top? When was the last time anyone has given us absolutely anything? When is the last time a striker scored more than a certain amount of goals for West Ham?
Probably.
I'm thinking was it Harewood and Zamora the season we got promoted?
Yeah.
That was 2003.
Yeah.
They both scored over like 20 goals that season.
Yeah.
I think.
Collectively, and then before that, you can even go further back, and you can go Hearts and Kitson for the last second half of the season.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe Tevez and Zamora,
Yeah.
and that was like the last 10 games of the season.
And then you're talking about other partnerships that West Ham have had over the years, and we've never really, especially under I'm trying to go back the way. Allardyce liked to play Carroll up top, never really give him any support.
Well, he had Nolan, didn't he? But if he didn't have Nolan, it just didn't work.
That's what I'm trying to say. So when he didn't have Nolan, it didn't work. And now we're finding ourselves with the same routine again, with the quality striker there, but not feeding him. And when are we going to learn as a football club? Because you know what's going to happen if Hernandez does leave our club. A football team of any league, of any standard, will play a second man with him, will connect the midfield to him, and he will bang in some goals. It's not rocket science to me.
We've been crying out for Arnautovic and Hernandez between them, but it's not going to happen now because Carroll scored 2 against West Brom.
And you know
Carroll
it's not going to happen
against Arnautovic.
And you know it's not going to happen because people are going to judge Hernandez on his Shrewsbury performance, and that's what's it's about
I don't
games.
think you could I don't think you could, anyone could judge Hernandez on that game. I'm not being funny. Like I said, there was no passing to him whatsoever, was there? If you I sat there and watched the game and it was awful. Like even Obiang, Obiang and Kyoto just did not fancy that game at all. They didn't want to be there. Like Kyoto didn't want to touch the ball. The second the ball come to him, there were so many times he could literally just taken a touch to control it and pass it to someone. It got to a point when Cullen was cutting inside from the wing to try and do something because Kyoto wasn't doing anything. He was literally just pumping balls up 50 foot in the air, going, "Here you go, Hernandez.
Yeah,
off you go."
Yeah.
But personally, I don't. This. I understand where you're coming from by saying having a partner with Hernandez to help him out, but I don't see the absolute need for it because he scored before with no partner around him. The thing with we don't do.
Do you mean at West Ham? Sorry.
Yeah, West Ham. Yeah, because in this Southampton game he scored 2 goals, mainly on a rebound. He scored against Tottenham with a header that was just diverted out. Problem is that when I'm saying service, I don't mean purely, Carroll gets the ball from a goal kick and nods it down for him to finish. I don't mean that's your standard play, but I'm saying genuinely, we don't tend to. We're almost a bit like Arsenal. We all our play is based on get to Lanzini, get to Masuaku, or get to Arnautovic, and then spend about next 3 minutes trying to pass it sideways and backwards along the midfield to try and suddenly get an opening from the defence and try and shoot. If my whole thing with Hernandez is stick him on the last defender, and literally just put crosses in the box at any height. You won't be able to reach the headers, but just get low crosses as possible. But just get the ball into the box. For me personally, it's really simple. It's the guy will just feed off anything, knock down some goalkeepers, mistakes from defenders, whatever you want to call it. Masuaku put a cross in. Lanzini took the ball over the top for him to run onto a ball. And Arnautovic or Antonio put the ball in from the wing. For me, it's totally not rocket science. Literally, the guy is there to finish. He doesn't have to have Carroll literally, babysitting him for every ball coming in. Just literally get the ball in the box. He'll do the rest. If he misses and he plays shit, fair enough. I'm wrong, and whatever. But genuinely, for me,
until we try that, we can't judge him because that's the thing.
Exactly.
And do you know what? We've been crying out for the Arnautovic partnership because Arnautovic, the new Arnautovic that we've got is the player that has vision, has the ability to find the correct ball at the right time, and that is the partnership we've not seen yet. And that's where I think, we're relying on one player, Arnautovic, to create, but that is all we have at our club. We have really only Arnautovic who is going to be in there. Lanzini, that's a lie, Lanzini. But if you can get that partnership between Lanzini and Arnautovic, give Arnautovic that free run and roll, and then he can find those piercing passes through the defence, which Chicharito's going to run on into, and that's what I'm desperate to see. And I can't. Yeah. And even after one game, you can't judge them. You can't judge them because the problem with West Ham fans is we are fickle, and we look at these games and we judge players on one game. How can you judge a player on one game? You need a run of games. You're going to have one bad game. You're going to have one average game. Kouate's having a run of bad games consistently on a regular occasion over the space of 18 months. I've tried to stick up for him over a year. Don't know how I've done it, but I did. And people are judging Hernandez on a couple of games because he doesn't get any service. Get a grip. Actually, just... Go for it.
Karate, I think Karate last year, he got away with it because he scored some really big goals. Like the one that sticks out in my mind is he got that goal at Swansea.
Yeah.
And we knew that Swansea game was like, if we lost, we were probably going down last year.
Yeah.
So he did get some big goals, whereas this year he's not, like, I know he scored in a loss at the home game at Tottenham, he scored and we lost. But he's not, like, if he's not contributing the goals, which he's not this year,
Leicester as
and
well,
he's not putting in the tackles, then now it's sort of come to the front more, like, he's not getting away with it. Obviously, people are banging on Hernandez, he's not doing this, but he doesn't match the Moyes tactics. That's the problem. But the way we're playing at the moment is put it down the channels. Whoever's going to win the ball, he's going to hold it up and then link up the play again. Yeah. And we've just been sitting there saying bang on about Arnautovic and Lanzini feeding balls into Hernandez. It's not the way we're playing.
Yeah.
All you can hope for is that if Moyes does get let go in the summer, we bring someone in that does want to play football. Yeah. And then you've got someone there to do it.
Yeah.
If not, it sounds like he's going to LA. So,
I mean I don't know what to think of that rumour. I mean, I've seen that going about today. I don't know how much of it I want to believe. I can't see it. I think to myself, World Cup, yeah, okay. He's in the nicest way possible. He's above LA Galaxy. He is above the MLS.
Yeah, it's not even LA Galaxy, is it? It's LAFC. It's a new franchise.
Well,
which is owned by Will Ferrell.
Yeah, it's not. Maybe it's a proper comedy joke then, because
and like by sounds of it, they need their big names in, and
it's not.
They've got one Mexican guy already linked, so that's what they want. I could see it happening. Like if David Moyes is still in charge in the summer, and like there is big money in America. If they turned up, if they turn up in the summer and went, here's like the 16 million you pay for Hernandez, and David Moyes is still in charge, I can see him going.
Yeah. Oh, that's different. I thought you meant in the January transfer window. But
January, no.
But do you know what? The fact that this
guy's
not
stupid enough.
The fact that, well, do you know what? They bloody are stupid enough.
Not if we're losing centre forwards already. They're not going to lose it. Like I think the fact that he's been on the bench every game.
Yeah.
David Moyes knows that there's something there that he can come off the bench and score a goal if needed.
Yeah.
Like the only reason we got the winner against West Brom, like Arnautovic wasn't fucking playing it in for Carroll. Carroll even said that he wasn't going to get in the box, but he knew that he'd get bollocks if he didn't get there in time. So he was just running the box because he'd get in trouble.
Yeah.
Arnautovic literally put that ball in for Hernandez, and he actually threw a strop. Like he threw his hands to the floor when Hernandez didn't get it, and he looked over and saw Carroll scored. And he was like, "Oh, great."
Yeah. Yeah.
So Hernandez will do stuff again. Like that's what we've been crying out for. That sort of ball into the box for Hernandez.
Yeah.
And that's the first time we've seen it in like a month for anyone do it.
Yeah, of course. No, it's tough, man. It's like as you said, like we just don't know what West Ham's turning up. Again, I repeat it. It's constant on repeat. We just don't know what West Ham's going to turn up, what formation we're going to go in. Well, we have a rough idea now, roughly the formation he's going to go with. Seems to be working. We're not shipping as many goals. I see the point, or the valid point, in trying to change formation, but I just can't see Moyes doing that. I don't know if he's got the balls. I don't think he's got the balls just now to do that, to be honest.
It's not even that. It's while it's working. Like it's like when everyone was calling out for Hart to be dropped, and Adrian came in, and obviously Hart wants to get back in the team. Well, Hart won't get back in the team until Adrian makes mistakes, because until Adrian makes mistakes, he's not done anything wrong to be dropped. Well, while this formation, like I said, we've picked up 11 points from 15, or something stupid. We've only lost 1 in 7. So while that formation's working, David Moyes won't change formation.
I know. I mean, we're talking about up front. Chicharito's fit, Carroll's fit. Rumours today. Probably not true. Sakho's off to Palace, but we think Sakho's probably on his way anyway. I want Hernandez and Arnautovic. I think you all want that, but we can probably see the Carroll situation.
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, and I'm not digging out Carroll. I like Carroll, and I think some games can suit him and some games can. But it just frustrates me because we've got an opportunity here to see these two players. Look, what are your thoughts?
Yeah.
Look, what you're thinking.
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking loads of things, mate. I'm thinking too many things, to be fair. It's just West Ham has all got this thing where we never really know how to use what we've got to the best of our ability. I mean, when we do, we fuck it up monumentally. It's one of the things where I looked at that team in the summer and I thought, do you know what, this is a good team. The only player I didn't like losing was Figuli, because I still thought he had something, regardless of how much money, how much wages he.
Wasn't even a lot, was it? That was the annoying thing.
He
didn't get a lot of money for him.
I think he was on
$2 million.
he was on 70 grand a week, and he went for about 5 million, in 3 or 5 million, one of the two. And I thought, well, you know what, he proved himself towards the end that he either wanted to stay or he had something about him. And then we let him go, and then we didn't really. Well, I think Anatovich was kind of a replacement for him, but when we signed the players, I thought it's much better window than it was when we first moved to London Stadium. So this is showing an improvement. Then everything from basically day one just went wrong in the Man United game. When I just thought, okay, do you know what? This team could have been set up man to man much better. It's a constant heartache with the club. You know, when we got, you know, apparently, you know, got the players, don't work them hard enough, so Bilic comes out, and we get Moyes. Moyes doesn't fancy the best striker at finishing hands down. We've got the club, so he doesn't get a real chance. Then we got Carroll, and then, you know, we don't seem to either play it to his strengths enough, or, you know, he doesn't play to get. There's so many things that are wrong with what we do. We never really get it spot on. But, you know, Sacco, hopefully, if Sacco does go, we get enough money for him, and we just end the whole debacle, because I'm getting bored of it now. To be honest with you, it's getting really boring. And I thought that he was meant to go in France, he was meant to go to China, now he's staying in London. It's like, well, just make your fucking mind up and just go, just piss off, just you know. It's funny, the board, the fact that clearly you've got a guy who wants to go, and the board are saying, no, we want the right money for him, which is fair enough. You've got a toxic atmosphere at the club.
Is it fair enough, though, the amount they want, like, realistically?
Well, it's one of them things where it's like, well, okay, you want that much money. Well, it is, because football, you can't. The thing about it is nowadays with football transfers is the fact that the money is so stupid. Yeah, you might as well say you want 15 million.
When you look at the fact that, like, Man City have bid 20 million for Sanchez because he's got 6 months left in his contracts, and fucking David go inside them like, no, we want 15 million for a guy that's played like 3 games in a year. Yeah.
But it don't matter, because honestly, the world, the football world is so crazy with transfers. We could probably put, I don't know, a £30 million price tag on Kiyate and say that he's a Senegalese international, World Cup coming up. He's still on a contract. So
he'd probably still go do well somewhere, but I can't see Sacco doing it.
It's just one of them things. It's just one of them things that you could literally put any price tag. The fact that Wolves have fucking bid 30 odd million for Adrian Silva of AC Milan, but he got turned down. But
let's not get it wrong though. Like, when Sacco's fit, he's a good player. So
but he's never going to be fit. That's the problem.
But knowing West Ham and knowing West Ham, the West Ham way, he will sign for another club and he will play a full season and he'll score goals.
He probably will. That's just us.
It's typically what happens at West Ham players. Someone's coming on here on the YouTube channel saying, as a team, we have squandered so much talent. Shizzle Base has said that, and it's so true. Vernon Harvey has come in and says, it's so obvious Hernandez can't be on his own up top. Now he just looks frustrated and short of confidence. He's getting, what is it here? He's not getting a goal with a 5-4 huge gap 1 formation. Again, so true. And Stel, who's a regular on our channel, part of the team, seeing that Moyes picked Hernandez for the cup game, it would almost seem obvious that he won't start the next league game against Huddersfield.
Well, I think the cup game was the thing he didn't have any choice, because it was literally him or Martinez.
Yeah.
Like, everyone had picked up a knock and was like, they didn't, like, because obviously Moyes has said he doesn't care about the cup. So it was, although he wanted to put a team out because he didn't want to disrespect it, like, people had knocks, like Anatovich could have played, but he'd been risking him. So it was like, I'm not risking him. Carroll's got a knock, I'm not risking Carroll. Yeah. Sacco's obviously not in the squad anymore because they want to sell him. So it was Hernandez was all that was there. Like,
well, let's move on. We know that Arnie's back. That's good news. For me personally, I hope he plays alongside or in and around Chicharito. Can't see it, but I really want it. We need Lanzini firing on all cylinders. He's there. Antonio is out. Looks like he's going to be out for the game. And I've seen a lot of media attention online, and a lot of people. And one of our own, Dan, has been saying that he's a bit overrated. But again, everyone's entitled to their own opinion. But for me personally, I just can't overrate this guy. I think he's another one of the players that has been carrying our squad for longer than he needed to, and he was not bought in to do that. He never had the ability to do that, and so he raised his game dramatically, covering a lot of our players in that team. And do you know what? For me, maybe this rest we are West Ham. We do not know how to bring players back into the game who've got an injury. We do not know how to look after them properly. It's been notified over the past 3 or 4 years. Doesn't matter. We've got the best. Someone put an article out for our website talking about Gary Lewin, and it's fine. That's great. He is a great guy, whatever. But it doesn't seem to be working for our club because we just can't seem to mature these players back into the Premier League once they've had an injury, because we just go over the top and then get them injured again. Thoughts?
Well, I think Antonio seems to be a bit different. Like, everyone else seems to be right. Like, I'm not being funny. Well, I touch wood now because I'm going to say it, that Carroll's not been unfit in a while.
Yeah, I'm going to say that. Better say that. Yeah, yeah.
Like, so he's doing something right, but it just seems that he's
doing something right with some players and then something wrong with other players.
Yeah, but it's like because he's not like a priority case, because everyone bangs on about he's got freakishly quick recovery skills, Antonio, that he seems to recover a lot quicker than other players. So it's almost like Gary Lewin's not worried about him, like, oh no, you can leave him over there.
Yeah.
He recovers quickly, but he recovers and then we chuck him back in, and then he was it the Chelsea game? He fucking ran himself into the ground and literally fell on the floor and collapsed. And was like, oh yeah, we better take him off now. Yeah. It's just like there's like a gap between the medical and the management team from the games, and it's just managing him back in. It's like, give him 30 minutes then 40 minutes and then give him a run out. Don't come back in and play 70 minutes. Yeah. Especially where we're playing now. Like, he came back in for that new formation playing up front. Yeah. Where he's got to run all game, harrying defenders and chasing lost balls down the channel. Yeah.
But listen, that's just West Ham for us. Like, what else do we expect? But yeah, we've got these players coming back, players out, a lot of injuries, middle of the park. What are we going to line up with in the middle of the park? Obiang, Noble? Luke?
Yeah, I think that'd be the best bet to go with. Current form as well. Just remember, we won't rush in Noble back if he's still injured or got a bit of an injury, which he could show, to be absolutely fully fit to start the game and then have a niggle halfway through the first half like he did at Stoke. I'd quite like to see Cullen involved at some point in that midfield. Not sure that's going to happen, but I thought he done well against Shrewsbury. I know it's Shrewsbury, by the way. I know it's only a League One standard team. I know it was only in the Cup, but he still impressed me.
Mate, don't disrespect it, because I mean, Karte was fucking awful. Let's be real. It's only Shrewsbury, League One team. Karte couldn't make a pass against them. Like,
yeah. No, it's not me downgrading him. I'm personally saying what the feedback I've seen from on social media, fans going, "Oh, Burke and Cullen, they won't be able to do it in the Premier League." We don't know.
But the annoying thing is, Burke done it in the Premier League. Burke done it in the Premier League like 3 years ago.
Yeah,
4 years ago.
Yeah.
When he was like fucking 16, and we had no centre backs, and Allardyce was forced to play him, and he played like 6 games in a row at the back end of the season, done well, and he just got sent out on loan for like 3 years.
Look, I'm with you on that comment about the youth, and we just don't know, because it's so true, and it does not matter if you have played or haven't cut it in League 1 or League 2, because that, as we had known by previous players and other teams, that does not matter. You can come into a league and you can just work in that league, and until you're given a shot and given a chance, we do not know. How many players have come, how many players have had a run of games that have been fantastic and have been crap? And yeah, okay, you can talk about players like Luke Shaw and you think to yourself, he was signed for crazy money, he had a crazy injury, but look how many players have recovered from that injury and look where he is. I don't know if that's probably the crappiest example I'm ever using, but for me, you look at the point and you think these youth players need to be given a shot, not just against Shrewsbury, but maybe it is time to come into the Premier League.
I think it's just working them in and finding places. Like I think as well is, if we was like 6 points better off than we are now, and we're sitting up like near 11th, then it would be easier for Moyes to bring him in.
I don't think he would, though.
But I think I think it'd be easy for him to say, "I'll give you a chance," because there's not as much pressure on him. But it's at the point now where the pressure's back on him, because, like I said, we've got like so many injuries, and guys are underperforming, that it's almost worth like saying, dropping Czech from the squad for a game and being like, no, Cullen, like starting Noble and Obiang, dropping Karte from the squad completely, and giving Cullen his spot on the bench, and saying to him, he's running, he's trying, regardless of whether he's actually at the quality you're at, where he's a good player. You're not trying, you're not running. He is, well then he's earned his spot. Yeah. Like, it just feels like maybe some of the players need to kick up the arse for that, to say, no, you have to run, because don't forget, that was Moyes' big thing when he first came in. was like, if you're not training, you're not running, you're not trying, you're not going to be in the squad. Well, it needs to come back around to that, because that's what got Arnie going.
Yeah.
But like, I think maybe having some of the youth players on the bench, maybe bring them in, because if you bring on Cullen for 10 minutes and he does all right, he does a job, well then you know that he can do a job. Maybe then.
But we don't give them players, and I mean, and just when you said that, we looked at the YouTube chat, and Schizzobase, sorry, not Shizzlebase, Schizzobase, has made a comment saying we really should try and give some of the kids even 15 minutes run-outs more often, and it's so bloody true.
There you go. I hadn't seen that. There you go. Yeah, like even if it's 15 minutes off the bench, like the game. I think for me, like the game that sacked Bilic was that Brighton game.
Yeah.
When we had no set, like we had Carroll. I think it was Carroll's hit, and they had Ayew, and he put no one on the bench.
Yeah.
And we had like Martinez sitting there in the youth team. And he had like fucking five defenders and Ayew on the bench. So we were losing at half time. He brought Ayew on. There was no more changing.
Yeah.
Well, at least now, if there's injuries there, put the kids on the bench, because they you know, I think it's at the point we're not Man United, we're not Chelsea. They literally can't do any worse than what's already there.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
Like Hank Sanovich, maybe, you know, Quinner.
Yeah, but you see these players.
They can't do any worse than what Kiai's doing. Like Oxford, play Oxford at holding midfield alongside Noble.
Listen, we're forgetting a player, Martinez. He came on, Shrewsbury, done all right. Went back into the 23, scored again, just like that. I mean, maybe that's a whole different ballgame. Maybe I could just lose the plot and we could be here for another hour over the whole year.
I don't know.
We have.
I think your ideal thing is like Hernandez and Martinez up front. That's like what you want to see.
I just want to see
front two.
I just want to see players that have ability, who are in their positions. I want players who play in their positions to play in their bloody positions, because that is the way football works. And I look at every other club and I think to myself, oh well, if you had Chicharito, what would you do? Well, yeah, you'd play him with another striker. If you had Cullen, what would you do? Yeah, well, you'd give him 15 minutes every couple of games. If you had Martinez, what would you do? You'd breed him into the team, a bit like what Manchester United done with Rashford. It's a no-brainer. What would you do if you had Oxford and he had a game against Arsenal and he had Ozil in his back pocket? No, you wouldn't send him out on loan and drop him.
Well, this is the thing. Like, that's why I'm saying maybe he'll play Oxford, because the fact that Mönchengladbach are still now trying to buy him for like 15 million.
Yeah.
It's like we're sitting there trying to go out and buy a holding midfielder. It's like, well, hang on a minute. We're trying to buy a holding midfielder for like 15-20 million, but we're about to sell one for 15-20 million.
Yeah, the whole thing just baffles me. But listen, we've gone on quite a lot about this, so why don't we talk about quickly, over to you, Luke, man to watch from Huddersfield Town?
For me, it's Moy. Predictable me saying that, mainly just for the fact that, you know, he's a midfielder. He clicks. He makes Huddersfield click for me. Whenever I've seen him, a lot of people are saying about Shelby's long-range passing. If he does come to West Ham, this guy's got it in abundance just as much. He can just ping a ball anywhere. So basically, we need to be on red alert. Marking needs to be touch tight. Can't give him a second on the ball. Got a decent shot on him as well, so we don't let him shoot from distance. Which unfortunately we did with Song, and he punished us, which is still gutting to draw his Spurs, to be honest with you. But yeah, for me, it's Moy. Yeah, I think it's the one to look out for. Dangerous one.
Over to yourself, Matt. Same question.
Obviously, Luke said Moy, so I'll pick someone else. You go Mounier or De Quattro, depending on who they play up front. They're both very different centre forwards, but they both do a job. They're both decent up front.
Yeah.
Mounier is a lot more mobile. De Quattro is more like an Andy Carroll style target man. But they both score goals this season, and they both know how to find the back of the net. So they've got to contain whoever's playing up front.
And the guys.
The funny thing is,
oh, sorry, go.
Sorry.
Go.
No, the funny thing is that you don't even need to know how to put the ball in the back of the net against West Ham. It just happens. It's like a magnet. It just yeah. You could be the kit man and the groundsman. He's still going to go off it and off it somehow.
And my guys to watch are the guys that you have just said. So that's my easy route out of that one.
Can't be us. Original here. Come on.
One thing I'm potentially excited about is Arnautovic Hernandez together. But let's.
No, it's not going to happen.
Let it go. Let it go.
No.
And it'll be Arnautovic and Carroll. You know, it'll be Arnautovic and Carroll. Sorry, Anne. It just won't. Unless Carroll gets injured between now and Saturday,
It's been one of them days for Ant now. It is.
Yeah, well, let's
if
get.
If he picks up Knock, then Hernandez might start, but he won't unless Carroll's
Don't tease him. Don't tease him.
He's going to go around there. He'll probably smack him down, wouldn't he? He'll go around the training ground, sniper him.
Just just sometimes in your life you just get so pissed off with something you love so much. Maybe that is part of life. Maybe that's in general when you.
It's just West Ham, isn't it?
Or it's maybe just human life. You meet a partner and you get pissed off at them and
this is getting deep.
Can't get rid of them. Yeah, sorry, I don't know what's happening. I think I'm just losing the plot. Anyway, let's get it back on track and let's talk about predictions. And I'm just going to throw it. Listen, we're playing away. We're playing at Huddersfield. Huddersfield have come off a victory at the weekend in the FA Cup. West Ham have drew against League, one position. And over to you, Luke. Predictions against Huddersfield.
Trying to hide.
I am a little bit. Right. I would love us not to concede, but I can see us conceding. I'm going to hopefully say they'll give it to one goal. I'm going to see us scoring. So I'm going to go with 3-1. And I know you're going to ask me the goal scorer, so I'm going to have to just pick it out of there. I think Carroll will score one. I think Lanzini will get on the score sheet. And I'm hoping for the fourth game in a row that Masuaku will stick one in the back of the net. I haven't mentioned Arnautovic because I'm hoping he assists all three or has a hand in it or something. But then I don't really care. I'd love to see. Do you know what? Honestly, I'd love to see Obiang spank another one. Spank.
What have you been up to, mate?
He wants to spank you from Obiang.
Oh, yeah.
My head's everywhere at the minute. Spank another one into the top corner. I don't really care who scores it. Just let's get the 3-1 win.
Yeah. Well, listen, Matt. What are your thoughts? I was going to say something else there. Predictions.
I think it's going to be 2-2.
Yep. Playing it nice and safe there.
The way David Moyes sets up, if it hit like the difference between Moyes and Bilic is Moyes respects a point. So David Moyes will look at it and go, he'll go away. We're playing away from home, so his thing will be he doesn't want to lose.
Yeah. So
I can honestly see it being like a 2-2, where both teams are at it, both teams score, and the result doesn't help either team.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'd love my heart says we'll win like 2-0, but my head says it'll be like a 2-2.
A couple of other last comments before we go. Stell has come on saying, once we're in a relegation battle, I cannot see Moyes risking youth. Once we pull away from relegation, then perhaps youth will have more of a chance. I agree with you, Stell. I can't see it happening. It's not going to happen. It's just what I wish would happen, and I think you guys, all West Ham fans, wish we would be able to do this properly as a football club. But hey ho, we're West Ham. And Vernon Harvey, unpopular opinion, but I would actually play Carroll in this one. I don't know if it is an unpopular opinion, Vernon. Maybe on our show, but I think it's mixed between the West Ham fans and what they would play. But when I mention, I'll give you my prediction. I think I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to West Ham. And I'm basing that upon West Ham starting with what my dream start would be, Arnautovic and Hernandez. If that doesn't happen, I'm going to go for either a 1-0 win West Ham or a 1-1 with Carroll scoring on the goal sheet. So let's see what happens. Any last points you want to make, guys? We've been on for 43 minutes. Didn't think it was going to go that long, but hey ho.
Oh yeah, cool. It was going to be that long.
It's always that long.
That's because you're on, Luke.
Just can't stop talking.
Do one. My opinion. My opinion is important. Most valid one on this one tonight. You can just shut up. Just on the Carroll, that Carroll comment there. Saying playing Carroll is fair enough. I'm just wondering about this whole Chelsea link, because when it first come up, I was at work and I basically spat my tea out onto my phone because I thought, no, it's just a rumour that's going about. But now it's starting to pick up a little bit of pace, and I know Dan was saying the other day as well. I think it'd be interesting to see how many more games Carroll does play. Because if his leg picks up, you can start to see him either held back, put on the bench, say he's got an injury or something like that. So it'd be interesting to see how well, if he does play against Huddersfield, how much effort he puts in. Because if he starts spinning the greenery up at Stamford Bridge, he might go, hold on, what am I throwing myself into these headers for if I want to keep squeaky clean for a medical at Chelsea? I think that Chelsea would be downright stupid to pay 20 million for him, but if they do, then fantastic. But I think this game will be telling to where Carroll's head's at. And that's just my little stupid little opinion.
After listening to Dan the other night and then really starting to work out where he was going with it, I can really see it. I can see it gathering momentum. I can see why Conte would do it. I can see why Chelsea would do it. They've got the money. If he gets injured and he gets fit again, they could sell him on elsewhere and get something back from him. But can he help them? Can he help them progress as a football team? Yes. For what they're going to use him for? Yes. Because they're Chelsea and they know how to use players that they sign. And we're West Ham and we don't. Yeah. That's literally what it comes down to.
Yeah, exactly.
I can't see it happening unless they get Batshuayi coming the other way.
Which I can see happening.
If that got put on offer, I'd take it. But I can't see West Ham selling him.
Yeah. Unless
they either get Batshuayi the other way or they get someone else lined up. Because the fact that he's now started scoring, you're going to need his goals.
It's still early days in the transfer window, lads. We've got a long while to go yet.
We certainly do. But listen,
I mean, playing tomorrow makes sense because you're playing a promoted team and they generally have big guys at the back.
Yeah.
So I can see that making sense.
But listen, I'm sorry to cut you off short there. If you want, we might even do another transfer special coming to the end of the transfer window and discuss players coming in, players going out, etc. We'll try and get as more Irons United guys on. You can call them out if you want. We'll put their links in below on the description and get them on, get their faces on this channel because they keep scaring away from it. So we're going to call them out and we're going to put them under pressure and get them onto the show. So we'll put their Twitter links in the description below. Anyway, come on West Ham, let's get 3 points on Saturday. Let's move our way up the league. Let's sign some players, won't happen. Let's play some youth, won't happen. And let's get a victory, it will happen. I've been Anton, he's been Matt. He's been Luke, and we are West Ham. Come on, you Irons.
Come on, you Irons.